Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a while since my last upload, a little over a year now. What I'm gonna start today is a new series about AzerothCore, and what the purpose of this series is to help you guys get started with AzerothCore as much as possible, and to get your feedback on what you guys want to see next. I have 7 videos planned so far. But obviously, feel free to let me know what you guys want to work on next. Because everything I'm going to do, if I have the knowledge and the capacity to do it, I will record myself do it and upload like I do right now. If I don't, I will make sure I make time to research the topic and test how it can be implemented, and I'm going to document everything. The end goal is to have a public server that is you guys can log in, test the features that I have, and you can access all the code, everything over there on GitHub, as well as how I actually built everything, because I'm going to document basically everything I do. Those who don't want to develop anything, those who don't want to do anything like with the server, just want to get used to like GM commands or whatever, you can do it. I'm gonna publish a video about how to make a website, a basic website. It's taken from a public fork, public GitHub commit, and we're gonna implement that commit onto the server where you guys can register and make your accounts. So first of all, let me show you where I get the content from, where I get the server from. Let's go to Hetzner, and let's go to dedicated, and let's go to AX. AX means that this is the AMD line. Now, I don't speak German, I speak English. So we're gonna go, as soon as you go into this menu, the AX menu, you're gonna see this sort of pop up. So gonna hit on order now, and make sure you guys have the VAT your country is at. I am not in any of these countries, so I do all others, and that means I pay 0% VAT. I'm gonna do order now, and because I use a Windows machine, I will need to obviously add a Windows configuration over there. I will not do tutorials on Linux, sadly. I do on Windows. So I'm gonna add this. It's expensive. It's almost as expensive as the server itself, so be sure you know what you do with it. Or at least you're ready to have like everything with this price at the moment. And it's gonna increase. I got an email from Hetzner like a few days ago about a price increase, but for us it doesn't really matter. It's like €2. It's nothing too major if you're paying this price already, because this is a 6-core processor. So the price is only €2 increase, because Microsoft increased their pricing because they don't make enough money. So this is what I pay every month to deliver you guys the content on a decent machine that is capable of doing a lot of things simultaneously, which honestly I'm pretty fine with. I can maintain this. Let's see the performance. I have another user in the background doing some other things, but overall this is fine. It's 64 gigs of RAM, and this is the CPU. I don't know, I'm really happy with it. So let's get started with how to set up the server. After we get the server, they might require some identification, all that stuff. You just talk to them via email. You pay not for right now, you pay retroactively. So if you have this month at the moment, you use it, you will not pay at the 19th or 20th. You will pay next month for this current month. So if I start on November, I will pay for November in December, and if I start using in December, if I continue using in December, I will pay for it in January. So this is how Hetzner work. You can change your location here. I'm fine with Hetzner. They're a decent company. I really like the product that they deliver. So let's start now with how to set AzerothCore up. So let's start with the most basic thing. Let's go to Server Manager. When you will get the server, this is what you're going to see. This is the main menu that you're going to see. All right. So I go to Local Server and I go to this option here, IE Enhanced Security Configuration, and I'm going to set everything off because initially you don't get Windows, you don't get Google Chrome. You get Windows, you get Internet Explorer. And whenever you want to visit a website, it will block you from everything unless you add it to a whitelist. So, I mean, I don't want to add everything to the whitelist. It's going to slow me down significantly. And I did not know this option existed before. So, obviously going to take care of it as soon as I start. So, I'm going to press OK. I'm going to hit exit. I installed Chrome. This is the only thing I've installed so far. Oh shit, I closed it. This is the only thing I installed so far. So let's start with how to get started. So like I said, we're going to do AzerothCore. So I'm going to do AzerothCore wiki. I'm going to go to the homepage. No, let's do installation guide. Should have classic here, requirements, and like I said, we're going to use Windows. All right, so what we're going to download, we're going to install, well, except for Windows, we're going to install everything over here. So let's start with Git. Like they provide all the links that we need. So I'm going to do Git. I have a 64-bit machine. You guys will too if you get from the same source as I do. Let's do this PC. You type it here, you right click, properties, and this is how you can see what bit is your operating system. I use Windows Server, like you guys can see, like you guys can read. And I'm gonna go and install the 64-bit version over here. And I'm gonna close this website. Then I'm gonna go to GitHub Desktop. Actually, I don't need this. What I need instead is Git extensions. This is what I need instead. So I'm gonna download this and press download. Yeah, let's install this MSI thing. Sure. Yep. All right. Let's go with community. This is the IDE compiler. Let's do free download. There you go. Let's go ahead and download MySQL now. MySQL, we're gonna download MySQL 8. MySQL 8, let's do this. And let's do, no, gonna need the installer. MySQL 8, and gonna need the community installer. Let's do this. No thanks, just start my download. And it downloads, okay? So then we're gonna go ahead and download HeyDSQL. I consent. Okay. And gonna go CMake, OpenSSL. With CMake, they added a comment here that says latest release and never install the RC version. Never install RC. I don't think we have RC at the moment. We have only latest release. So we're gonna install the 64-bit version. Yeah, gonna install the 64-bit version. Actually, it's both versions combined. Gonna close this and open SSL again. Gonna go, they added a comment here, not to download the light version. Not the light version. So we need the 64-bit, not the light version. Let's go ahead and do this, or we can also do this. Did they say anything about this? The latest Win64. All right. Latest Win64. This is Win32. Let's do this. Do exe, download. All right. And then we're gonna do boost, and they have a direct link over here for the 64-bit version. So it downloads the 1.81 version basically. Because we had a pop-up ad, it doesn't start downloading, it doesn't decrease here. Now it does after we had a slight refresh. So gonna wait for it to start. Yeah, it does. Okay. And have I missed anything? I don't think so. Oh yeah. Let's go back to installation guide here. And they had some files. I think it was at server setup, data files. There you go. Data files and US. There you go. This is what we need. And we're gonna do data.zip. Gonna download it from here. Thank you for providing it. It saves us a lot of time. Gonna need it to start the server properly. And after we're done downloading it, let's start installing our programs. So let's open Git and hit a bunch of next now. Next. Yeah, whatever. The default will do just fine. That's perfectly fine for us. Gonna hit install. Let's see if I can do multiple installations at the same time. I don't think I can with the compiler. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but I cannot install like too many things at once with the compiler. But I think with some others I can. So we're gonna give it a go. Okay, finish and finish. Compiler gonna wait for a little bit. Gonna do this. All right, now we're gonna install MySQL. MySQL, gonna go hit custom here. Gonna go to MySQL Server, MySQL Server 8. Gonna do here. Gonna do the 64 version here. Gonna hit next. It might say that we don't have some software required, and it's gonna install it for us, which is, I mean, it's fine by me. It's necessary to boot it up to start it. Gonna hit next again. Specified port already in use. What do you mean? Might be from the other user. So I'm gonna do 3307 here. Now my password will be password. That will be my password. Very sophisticated. Make sure you use a better version than I do. 100%. Yes, give it full access. Let's install some other things in the meanwhile. HeyDSQL, gonna need it. Install for all users. I don't want to do this. I don't want telemetry. I don't want to do this. I don't want this. I don't want this. I want only associate SQL files with HeyDSQL. So let's go ahead and do install. And this is done. All right, let's do finish. Let's do next. Let's do finish again. No, do not restart my computer. So we're done with HeyDSQL. Now let's do CMake. Gonna hit next, gonna hit next, gonna hit next. All the default working just fine. And let's do OpenSSL as well. Yes, I accept the terms and conditions. Gonna hit next, 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 install. All right, this one's done. This one is also done. And gonna install Boost now. This is the location where it's gonna be located. Gonna hit next. And it's gonna take a little bit of time. I want to give them a $10 donation, not at the moment. So I'm gonna wait for this to be done. I hope we can install Visual Studio while this one is active, even though I'm not 100% sure. All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna install. Oh my God, let's expand this a little bit. They have the picture right here. We're gonna do desktop development with C++, even though this is a 2019 version. For us, it's 2022. So we're gonna do this with C++ desktop development. They don't say anything about adding checkboxes here. So we're gonna leave it as default at the moment. It's gonna take 11 gigs. That's fine. And we're gonna see if we need to install anything in addition to that, even though I don't really think. Maybe this accelerate this, and don't see anything else that is needed at the moment. So I'm gonna hit install and gonna wait for it to be done. So while we wait, I think it's the best time to start with actually never mind, gonna wait for it to be done. All right, so it's done compiling. This is the Boost installation. Gonna hit finish. This is Visual Studio. I don't want to log in for now. It lets me use the compiler for free for 30 days, I think. So I mean, if I can have it, I will take 30 days for free. After that, you're gonna need to sign in, and you're gonna need to if you count, like, you're gonna need to make an account. It's still free. You just need to sign in. So for now, we don't need anything from here. What we need for now is we're gonna need to go to the desktop for folder, and gonna hit new and folders. So I'm gonna call my server Serverlands, like the channel name, and I'm gonna make 2 additional folders. The first one will be core, the other one will be build. So within core, I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna do git extensions. Git extension clone. Yeah, I'm gonna download it now. I don't really mind. Don't need this no more. Yeah. Install. And close. All right, so I'm gonna start again. Gonna do git extension clone. I'm gonna do English. And now we're gonna need to go to gonna AzerothCore GitHub. We're gonna do the Wrath of the Lich King expansion. Gonna hit copy after I click on code. Gonna copy this. Gonna hit like this, And a subdirectory, I don't want anything. I'm gonna make sure that we select the main one, the master one, the master, and we're gonna hit clone. Now, once we do that, it's gonna get all these files, all these all the documents from here. It's gonna install them in the core folder. So let's go ahead and hit clone. Meanwhile, we can go to control panel. Within control panel, I'm gonna do large icons, and I'm gonna do file explorer options. I want to see invisible files, and I want to see file extensions. So let's go ahead and do hide extension. Let's uncheck this, and let's show hidden files, folders, and drives. I'm gonna hit apply, and we're gonna need it because we have a few configuration files that we're gonna need to adjust. So I think we're done with this for now. Let's make sure this is the core folder. We can see the extension .sh, and we see JSON, all the good stuff. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to generate a solution now. Generate a solution in a C++ project. We can do that through CMake. So we're going to copy this, going to paste it here, and we're going to do / and core like this. And here in the build the binaries, we're going to do /build, not /core/build. All right, so we're going to hit configure, and we're going to leave it as default. What it means is this is the generator. This is like which compiler you want to use. We have the Visual Studio 2022. 17 is like the version number for the compiler itself, and by default we're going to use the 64-bit version, which is default. If we have a 32, we're going to select 32, but it means we're going to need to install all of these in the 32-bit version, which we don't want to do. So you're going to make sure that he knows it's 64. It's by default it's 64, and we're going to hit finish. And we're going to wait for it to, I don't know how to increase the size. Actually, I do. Just control and on the scroller. All right, so let's increase it a little bit. I hope that's enough for you. All right, took less than a minute, and we can see everything here is. I mean, it might look all red and scary, but that's actually fine. As long as we see that there are no errors here, that's fine. So let's do configure again. Now it's done, and we're gonna hit generate. As soon as we're done generating, it should say generating done. We're gonna go to the build folder, and we're gonna go to AzerothCore.sln, SLN as in solution. We're gonna select this 2022 version, and we're gonna compile everything. While we compile everything, you will use 100% of your CPU. You're gonna need to remember that. You're gonna use 100% of your CPU. It will go absolutely ballistics. It will go nuts. It will go insane. All right. So we're gonna keep that in mind. Gonna go and select this release with debug info, and we're gonna keep it at 64-bit because this is the version that we use. And when we're done, we're gonna hit build and build solution. Now let's look at this go absolutely nuts in just a few seconds. That's beautiful. There you go. Let's show logical processors, just in case you guys want to keep track of what's going on. It's going to use 100% of it. I don't know how long it's going to take, but when we're done, it's going to show me over here how long it took. Now, I can use the machine, but it will be very, very slow because most of the resources are being allocated to this compiler. So when it's done, I'm going to resume the video. All right, it's done. It took us 5 minutes to compile everything on this machine. Really, really good. I'm really happy with this machine. Let's go ahead and close this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the bin folder, go to release with debug information. and we're gonna paste here all the files that we downloaded in the data.bin zip. So gonna open it, and then we're gonna drag and drop it onto here. Gonna create a new folder, gonna call it data, gonna press enter, and we're gonna take all of this just without cameras, and we're gonna drag and drop it over here. Now while we do it, it's gonna take a little bit of time because well, it's quite heavy, filled with small files. So what we need to do at the moment, you see that this extension, we don't need this, we need conf for configuration. So we're going to need to remove it. And now we're going to need to adjust all the configurations that we have here to make it work. So what we need to do now, we're going to need to make sure that we can actually connect to the database, because this is the first setting that we need to adjust. So I'm going to hit new, and I'm going to call it I'm going to call it Serverlands actually. And because we're going to use 3307, not 33, my password was the word password. So I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to hit open. And we can log in. That's perfectly fine. Now I want to add new databases. So I'm going to right click. Let's maximize this. Let's right click and create a new database. Now in this new database, I'm going to call it Serverlands auth. All right, and now we need two more. We need Serverlands characters. I'm going to call it chars. And then we need a final one, Serverlands world. Keep in mind you cannot have spaces over here. So I'm going to do an underscore. So we go to this auth server thing, and we need one additional software called Notepad++. So I'm going to download it. Yeah, sure. Consent, I'm going to hit download. I'm going to install it. Yes, English, please. I agree. Next. Yes, install. Great, now close it. And we go over here, right click, and edit with Notepad++. You can do it with other notepads, like this default one. I just like to use the Notepad++ because it's a lot more convenient for me personally. So let's go ahead and see what we need to adjust. First of all, the database settings, I saw them like a second ago. Where is it? All right, so we have port number. It's gonna be critical for us to remember this 3724, and let's go ahead and search for the database. Where is it? I've seen it like a second ago. Where? Oh, there it is. All right, so we have here login database info. So we're gonna want to keep it localhost because this machine is gonna run the application, and this machine has the database. So it's all hosted locally. So we're gonna keep it like that. But we don't use this port. We use this port. So we're gonna make sure that we adjust it. Now the default username is root. And our password is the word password. Now we need to put it the authentication, but our database is not called AzerothCore auth. It's called Serverlands auth. So we're gonna hit save. When you hit save, this one turns greener actually. All right. So this is for auth server, And now we're gonna go to world server and we're gonna adjust everything over here. This is a bit more extensive than the initial one. We have multiple things we need to keep in check. This is the port that we need. You can see the other tab over here as well. The port that we need here was 3724, and this one we need 8085. Now the database is straight up here. Very simple to see, very easy to see, sorry. Oh my god. Instead of AzerothCore, gonna do root. And instead of this, we're gonna do the password that is our password. And instead of AzerothCore here, we're gonna do Serverlands. And because with characters, we don't have the word characters, we have chars, gonna adjust it like that. Okay, so now we're gonna scroll down and we're gonna see that we have here the data directory. So I'm gonna do / and data. Why? Because this is where we placed everything over here in the data folder. Gonna scroll down. There is a file for a column for cinematics. Skip cinematics. Feel free to go through this entire file. It's it's a lot of settings, but I think it's a one-time thing. So make sure you go through it. There are a few things that are a bit annoying, language barriers and all that type of stuff. So let's go ahead and do language. No, where was it? Maybe it was faction. There you go. 2 factions. Yeah, I want to allow all factions to have whatever they want. So I want to straight up do everything here as 1. All right, so I don't think I need to adjust anything else other than this. Maybe I'm wrong, but we're gonna see over time. We're gonna start with level 1. I don't want to adjust it. So now if we run the server now, running the server basically means execute this and then execute this, but it's gonna cause a few issues about missing files. We're gonna see right now. We need libmysql.dll. Now, this file can be obtained when you go to where we installed all the files that we had before, which is in C, and we have program files here. This is the 64-bit. This is the 32-bit. We're gonna need to 64-bit. I'm gonna go and MySQL 8, and it should be placed within bin. Could be in library. libmysql, where is it? There you go, libmysql.dll. Gonna need to copy this and paste it over here. I'm gonna execute it, and now it says not found legacy.dll. Legacy DLL can be found in the OpenSSL folder. Gonna open it. Gonna go to bin and gonna copy legacy.dll. Control C, Control V, and when I execute it, I see that all the info is being populated. When we started with the server, when we started with this database, it didn't have anything. It was empty because same for here. When I click the drop down menu, it's all empty. But when we start the server and we populated all the information correctly, it was able to apply all the SQL files that it needed in advance without us needing to specify it. So it's a very simple process. It's very good. I really like it. This is all the foundational things, and then it installs all the updates. So I think this is a spectacular system. I really like it. It also gave us the port number that I said we're going to need to remember. It generate it for us over here. So what we have over here, the realm list table within the authentication database. This is probably the thing that you're going to worry about the most when you get started. So you're going to need to worry about the ID. The ID is being taken from here. Oh, well, that's not good. It's being taken, actually, let me scroll manually all the way up. It's being taken from realm ID equals 1. So it means that your current realm ID is 1. If you're going to want to start another realm, it's going to do, obviously, 2. If you want to start a test realm for the first realm, it's going to be 3. Or maybe 2, because you don't want an additional realm. But whatever you do, you're going to need to worry about the port number and the realm ID of it. We're gonna worry about additional realms later on, but for now you're gonna need to remember realm ID, very important. It has to be identical to this one, and port number has to be unused as in not used by anything on this machine, and it has to be ported forward to make it public, unless obviously you don't want it public, but that basically locks it into local development only, because you cannot even log in to test it. That's important to keep in mind. Now, it could be very complicated for you to understand, but we're going to have a dedicated video just for that in the future. Going to worry about it in the future. Just for now, you're going to need to keep that in mind. If you want to have a test realm, we will have a dedicated video for that. So for now, we're going to wait for this one to finish. It takes like quite a bit of time. We have patience, I hope. So what I want to worry about now is when the server crashes, we're gonna have a few times where the server crashes. It's never good, it's never fun, it's never what we wanted it to do, but we will want to have like an auto restarting system. This auto restarter can work on a Windows environment. That's fine, it can work, that's fine. But it will not work because by default, Windows has error reporting enabled. So we're going to disable it for now. So let's go ahead and do Windows error reporting disable. We're going to see how we can disable it, mostly because I don't remember. Yeah, accept all. All right, so we're going to go and do whatever this guy says. Let's go ahead, Control Windows R. Let's paste this one over here. Right click, Windows reporting. Where is it? Windows reporting service? This one. Right click and select properties. Choose disable. Hit apply. And then okay. So it seems like we disabled it. We're gonna give it a go, obviously. When we start this, I wanna show you guys. This will be empty. These two are empty at the moment. They don't have anything. So let's go ahead and make sure that they do. So I'm gonna start the server now, and we can see that it applies a bunch of things, which is obviously what we want to do. For now, we see that it starts with the characters folder, database, sorry. What we're gonna do is we're gonna adjust the realm name for now, realm list, while this one is taking care of basically everything. So characters is done. Now it's gonna start with world. So instead of AzerothCore, we're gonna do, let's do Serverlands AC as in AzerothCore. All right, so this is a 3.3.5 version. I'm gonna keep it like that by default. It's gonna work just fine. And when this is done, we're gonna see that it booted everything into the memory. It loaded all the data from the database that it needed, and now it can work just fine. We can log in game, but we cannot because we have a small problem. It's not ported forward it means that we don't have the ports that are needed. We don't have 80, 85, and 3724 in public. So what we want to do is we're going to go to Firewall, Windows Defender Firewall with Advanced Security. Going to hit this, and we're going to go to Inbound Rules, and we're going to do a new rule. When we do that, we're going to hit Port, and we're going to do 8085, 3724. This is what we're going to need. And going to hit Next. And going to hit Next again. Make sure that this is TCP. We don't need UDP. Gonna do all of these. That's fine. So let's go ahead and do Serverlands. These two. Let's do plus over here instead. Gonna do finish, and we're gonna hit exit. Now we need to test that these are actually public, that we can actually access them. So are my ports open? We're gonna go to get your signal. This is my IP. No, it's not. I don't think this is my IP. My IP is this one. So let's do 65.21.98.148. Let's go ahead and do 8085 because I see that this is blinking. It means that it's done. So it's done in 12 seconds. It took 12. Let's do check if this is available. Yep, it is. So world server is available. Now let's do 3724 and let's hit check again. And it's public as well. So let's go ahead and close this actually. Now it should be disabled. Let's see if this is the actual, this is what's going on because we closed the IP. All right, seems like it's closed. Let's make sure that it's actually open now when we boot it up. Let's do check, and now it's open. All right, awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and log in game. Wait, we forgot to make an account. Let's go ahead and make an account. ACC as an account. When I type it, you see that it detected that ACC, the closest command that it has is account. So it just assumed that we continue with account. That's like by default. Very handy feature, really like it. When we do char, it detects character. When we do cha, ch, c. Now it doesn't know what c because it doesn't have anything that is this close. So it detected char but ch. Well, if we do co, it doesn't know which one because we have two options. However, if we do ca, it knows that it's cache, and then it will work just fine. So we go ahead and do ACC create, and we're gonna need an account. So I'm gonna do admin and admin. This will be my account. My account will be admin, and the password will be admin. Now we want to make sure that this is a GM account. So I'm gonna do ACC set GM level. And when I do that, I'm gonna need to make sure I select my own account, which is admin, and then the rank that I want to have, which is 3, for which realm. Which realm I'm gonna do -1, which means everybody. Now let's see how it looks like in game, sorry, in the database. When I do, when I created an account, this is the username. This is the password combination. Don't ask me about it, doesn't really matter. It's high tech, that's good. Last IP, this is fine. This is the account. This is what I need. This is how I can log in. Where does it say what is my GM level? It doesn't say it. That is because it uses a helper table, which is account access. So we can see that my account ID is 1. This is 1. This is my account ID. If I make another account, let's do another account. Account, create test. Oh, I need a password. Let's do test and test. I'm gonna refresh by pressing F5. We see that this is number 2. Number 2 test, that's fine. But it doesn't exist over here because we have not set it up as a GM account. Now what we can see here, it's very simple. This is the account ID, which we can add manually, by the way. We don't need all this complicated command. Set GM admin 3 -1, all that stuff. We don't need it. We can just type 2, which is our account ID. This is the GM level that we want. 0 is a player, or if it doesn't exist, it just defaults to 0. 1 is a moderator. 2 is a GM, 3 is an admin. Realm ID is which realm ID do we want to have it? Because we have only one realm ID, we have only this. That means that whenever people log into the game, this will be checked. Which realm ID does it apply for? If we do -1, that means all the realms. If we have 24 realms, it will exist for all 24 realms that we have on this particular machine. However, we can specify it as well, because we might have 3 different realms. One is a fun server, the other one is a test server, and one of them is a instant level 80 server. So we want to give access to test realm only. Actually, no, let's do test realm and the instant 80. So it means we need realm ID 2 and realm ID 3. So we can do that the same for here as well. We can adjust which GM level we want to give him, because this guy will be a tester on this realm ID, so he needs this, but he's an admin over here, so he needs level 3, and it will be available just as we set it up. He will have tester level access on this realm, and he will have admin access on this realm. So I'm gonna delete it for now. Let's go back to account. This is what we have. This is a player. This is an admin. So let's go in game and test it out. So one quick thing before we log into the game, going to need to adjust the address here to be the IP address that we're hosting the machine at. And when we're done adjusting it, we're going to need to restart, or if you haven't already, you're going to need to start the server up from the beginning. And now, whenever it says add realm Serverlands AC, it does it for this IP, which is what we have, and this is the port that we have from the configs. Let me do that again. This one. All right, so let's go ahead and go in game. All right, so my username was admin and my password was admin again. So let's go ahead and try to connect, but let me start the server first. Where was it? So this is what happens when only authentication server is online. It will appear as if the server is pending for now, and it will not have a green line over it. When it's red, it means it cannot connect. It hasn't found anything. And when the server will boot up, we will know that it is available for connection. You can also just randomly press enter whenever you want until you see a green line, and then you will know that it's available. In my case, it was yellow, probably because I have no characters. So let's go ahead and start setting up a character. Let's call it tester. No, let's call it admin, even though I don't think it will let me because of the name. Oh, it will. Okay. All right, so let's go in game. I remind you, I skipped all the cinematics. There are no cinematics over here whatsoever. I have all my add-ons working just fine. But let's see if I'm a GM. So let's go ahead and do cert info, which is server information, and we can see that it actually works just fine. I can see all the information about the server. I can do GM commands. Let's do .ban. I got access to ban. .mute. I got access to mute. And I can also create an account, maybe. Oh no, let's do account. I don't have any anything for command. All right, let's go ahead and do some modify speed, just for the sake of it. Let's do modify speed 5. I'm walking faster now, which is, that's always awesome. Maybe I can fly now. GM fly on, that works just fine. If I do GM fly off, it works just fine. I got full damage. If I want to add some items, let's do lookup item axe, for example. Let's add this. Add item. Let's do something I can equip. Actually, I cannot. I need level up. So let's do level 79. It will give me 79 levels. Let's go ahead and implement it. There you go. Now let's attack this. One shot. Loot works just fine. Yeah, I can do all the things that GM can do. Works fine. Let's do that die on this creature. Yeah, he's dead. All right, so in the next video, we're going to learn about database users that we can add and give people access to the users so they can do whatever they want in the database. Obviously, we don't want to give them like absolute privilege to do whatever they want, but we will want them to make like items, quests, and maybe even creatures, maybe add some new objects into the game so we can build like a maze or a staircase event or whatever. So yeah, we're going to work on that in the next video. See you soon.